What I wouldn't pay to see you challenge the chairman to fisticuffs. Someone with a talent for exploiting insecurities. A crack shot. Capital. I hear Monarch's in need of more game hunters. Good. I might require you to push a few buttons.
Hello. Come on, say it. Boo. Then we start. Hey, it is you. Oh. This is the guy I came up with. Although maybe different hairstyle. Yeah, I like this one the best. Yeah. Interesting. This is closest to what I'd consider blonde. So I'll go with the bright green.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Terra 2.
Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down. Its drive is
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck.
He does that a lot. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
So, how's your day been?
Ah, you've landed. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Whoa, what? Oh, hello. What is it called? Adrena. Probably adrenaline. Sprat.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Whew.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one.
All right.
Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
Spacers, what now?
We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. Not that I deserve to be. Can't even deliver a company slogan. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take them. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Spacer's Choice policy clearly stipulates that dead and as good as dead are two completely different properties of matter. Unless I'm dead, I'm contractually obligated to attend to my post. I will report that illegally grounded spacecraft if it is the last thing I do. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? You'd better take my gun then. Careful. It's worth more to the company than I am. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Oh, I see. So, I think I know exactly what happened.
The Hope? Is that some sort
This
of
is capitalism
drug?
run wild.
Anti-Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the... This...
Combination detected. R1 is tactical time dilation. Okay. Okay, so that's a dodge. Weapon management.
Hi, Amy. Can she hear me?
No.
I think so.
That's wrong.
Oh!
She heard.
Okay, so double clicking X is dodge. Got it. Some canisters hold items that you can take. Mock apple. Bunch of nanners. Those are some strange looking nana. What do you think, Drake?
Eat it.
Magpig, magpig. Wait, so how do I... %200% natural health regeneration. Oh, okay, it doubles it. Never mind. Okay, so how do I pick the lock? I kinda skipped over it. Okay, so I need 4 of them. Pre-sliced bread. Tarmac and cheese, what? This game's gonna be good. I have 3 of them. Well, how do I get the other? Yeah, well. I'll come back for you. Okay, now where'd the other one go? Pretty sure I dropped him. Yep. Oh, the only thing you had was a saber? Do 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 do. So...
before you get yourself killed.
Okay.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in a Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
So I heard you found one of your teammates holed up in a cave.
You pulling my limb? I mean, yeah, of course. Marauders. Bunch of addle-brained derelicts. I could round them up all by myself. I just, you know, Need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
I just earned a fine bonus.
Waste of company ammo.
Rebuilt mining gear. Alright.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Why, thank you, Ada.
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Hello, please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Did he tell you what happened to my hand?
I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5,
4, 3, 2,
1.
1. What are you going to do? Gray's running the
You are
ground.
still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Oh.
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Okay.
I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Yeah. It happened.
I
Getting close,
understand.
man.
I will require some time to process this information.
This is as
Thank
far
you
as I
for
can
your
go.
patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be
Bite
Captain
me.
Hawthorne. Do you understand?
He's trying to bite me. Do you see this?
I get it. You need me to be Captain Hawthorne or you can't fly.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
No. I'm not bad. I'm evil. That'll find
Astutely
probably.
observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search
Of the
for
Unreliable.
power regulator.
Oh.
Try to stay alive this time.
Try to stay alive this time. Oh, thank you. I'll most certainly try. Nice skill point melee. The maximum of 50. Oh. Oh, okay. So you pick one. So you pick a group. And then you can hit it directly into one of them. Yes. Getting in different locations in 2D2 remains mains or cripples those body parts. Yes, the chest produces different effects when using different weapons. Dialogue. Combat dialogue. Perk points. On the screen you can choose perk with your perk points. Get a new perk, spend every 2 levels. You can also acquire perk through gameplay, such as accepting a flaw. Acquiring 5 new perks makes the next tier available to you. Auntie wants you to be your best, help her be the very best. Being a shrewd negotiator may cost you some friends, but you make up for it in bits. Okay, so I can...
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
You've got it all wrong. I'm Starship's safety inspector.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here. Over past
It worked!
the cemetery. Now, excuse me. I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Well, Okay, so I guess this is the road. This necklace makes a strong fashion statement. Look at my neck. There's something on it. A pretty something. Look at it.
Okay. It's ugly.
Sure, grip.
You hiding?
Wait, where's the weapon? I want the weapon. Makeshift low pressure suit. Marauder armor, the low pressure suit has been seen better days. It should hold together and provide some protection, but it's not recommended to wear in a hard vacuum. Yeah, people will probably attack if I wear that. I hear you. Gyro sight. To dampen movement, allowing for more accurate shots. Sweet. Fun times barrel. Special rifle barrel that allows a wide-range weapon to shoot a little more precisely. Push over a functioning auto mechanical, but it's easy to tip over a non-functioning one. This little device is the reason. No, I don't. No, I don't what? No, I don't what? What did I say? Wait, I can climb. I already like this more than I like to Fallout 4. Oh, yeah. That's what you're talking about. Whoa! I suppose this one. Did he just fall on his own? I think he just tripped and died. Thinking caplet. Mushroom which increases intelligence for a short time. Okay, there are lots of them. Maybe I shouldn't have picked a fight. I should not have picked a fight. I'll come back to there just as soon as I get a better weapon. This thing auto-saves a lot, huh? I figured he'd send me back to the ship. Primal Brute. How about we, don't? So... How are you? Hello, second person. Whoever you are. Or is that a glitch? Never can tell. I put you away. Saltuna Cannery. Hey, no. Could you please not?
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Oh. Oh, yes, you want me to do something before you help me.
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I don't think these people will take too kindly to losing the power.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Ooh. I want to. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Good Lord, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
How I recognize her, lady.
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
These workers must have left town for a reason.
That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Woohoo! Increase my carrying ability. They can unlock special abilities. La la la. Okay. Whoa! She jumped in here. Okay.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
This is about the deserters, so what's the other side?
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
You worked with them, you were friends, or what?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
You can't leave it at that.
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words.
Okay.
If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
This wasn't gonna hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Dehydrated water tablets. What? How?
Heading back.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You're kidding me. Damn. Always thought he was made of sterner stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick house.
Plague? Ah, shit. I had some of the salt tuna.
You moron.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
Don't let the boss catch you saying that.
I've got some time. Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
That is interesting.
Had your rations yet?
So,
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Got my sights on you.
vending machines. Old MacDonald had trip blade, E-I-E-I-O. And with the blade he killed a sprat. Ooh-ee-E-I-E-I-ow. Moo! Wait, but it told me to go in. Did he go back in or something? Oh, did he live here? I don't know. Multi-pillar. Ooh, that thing is interesting. Yeah. That thing is dangerous. Drake, please, no.
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
So is this the church?
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got to confess? You ain't thinking of deserting, are you?
What? No. And I resent the accusation.
Wasn't nothing but a question. Do excuse me.
I must be on my way. Verity to you.
Work? Our place in the universe is fixed.
Oh, might as well keep it out. It doesn't really affect anything.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Depends on how well the leader can provide beyond your walls.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Why would a vicar be after a banned heretical book? Whacking me is not going to help any. I assume you want to burn it once you get your hands on it.
What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never. I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
Seems to me the authorities would be interested to hear you're after this contraband text.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
Oh.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
So, how are you enjoying the game so far? Seems nobody ever goes outside much. That's a creepy looking moon. Apparently marauders have taken over the place, so I need to be careful. Besides, I'm interested in this book myself.
Okay, going quiet. Got him all.
What happened to allow for this? Just got the letter today. Corporate ordered me to relocate to Edgewater Cannery, effective immediately. It's a shame. I'm really looking into running my own gift shop or a community center, selling rare memorabilia. But Scripture tells us that all things are for a reason. Work fortifies the spirits and all. That's my book collection. I can't bear to part with it. Don't want those books moldering in the contraband locker. Away in a cave by the river. time. Ambidextrine. Somebody didn't want their books to be found.
That was quick.
A shot can. Hello. Lock and shock technology. Make sure that you never waste a single volt. Wait, how do I use this thing? Cannon purple. Whoa.
Just like on.
Nice. There was another body. So should I feel bad about the fact that I tased them to death? Nah. See, if they didn't attack me, if they just weren't marauding, you know, they'd still be alive. Ugh! The thing's ugly. It's not the worst until it's worst. I don't think that'd even be considered a pig anymore. Well, it can, but that thing's... Yikes. I should read it.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
You're overreacting a bit, don't you think?
Overreacting? Do you have any idea how many years I spent in... No. You couldn't possibly know, could you? I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the Philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my penitentiary term. Left many an opponent bleeding in the prison yard.
Are you sure are you even a vicar? Because you're not sounding very vicarly right now.
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied? Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Okay, so I don't know what the max level.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. The war! The coming apocalypse! Man versus machine! I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
Yeah, I gotta watch out for those mechanicals.
That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially, unofficially, strictly between you and me, I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation.
I'll let you be. Workbench allows you to upgrade and modify your equipment and armor. Alright. Oh, that looks cool. Ah, well, the truffles are immune. Wait, I've gained some money, haven't I? I can purchase ammunition for this thing. It's useful. Just as long as I get in close, though. How am I a meanie? What did I do?
I'm going. Can't do it.
What did I do?
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you wanted me to. Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good push and wait for the click. There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow. His name's Jeremy, by the way.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
On account of I fixed him. And he's Jeremy on account of his helmet. It's like Jeremy, the officer in True Romantic Tales of the Space Guard.
Either way of cereal or something.
Surely. I make a point to watch every Tuesday night. Be more careful out there, Jeremy.
Self-diagnostics initiated. Please do not disturb.
Well, I'm glad I was able to help you, Jeremy. Hey, nobody's going to complain if nobody lives here. But real atmospheric contaminants from Tartarus. Okay. Suppose if nothing else, I could... So...
Let's end this quick.
Get away!
Where is she?
We did it!
Good. Get over here. Ooh. So it does shoot forward. Just has to be in a certain range.
Everyone all right?
I could have done that, but I didn't. That place has to be filled with marauders. Wait, how about I bring them with me? I mean, they obviously don't want to be in town, so... Oh, I definitely would. I wonder if they'd accept the request, though. Dervish missed. Oh well. I need one more. And that's the geothermal plant. Okay. Well, considering there's dead marauders here, I'd say these guys can work pretty well for themselves. Wait, it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. Well, guess what? They're selling subpar things, and they're not even trying to hide it.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Well, look at you, buzzing around the Aether with your very own ship. Rest of us gotta make do with the ground at our feet. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest. I'll tell you what I can.
How well do you know
enough
her?
to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago, she was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. What is it?
Alright. That should be Stefan.
Fancy duds. Do the tubes get in your way? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
You will value your best dialogue skill, which is to negotiate prices when buying and selling from vendors. Alright. Most popular is fried chicken. Close number 2 in all respects, including taste. Tastes like number 2. Yeah. Liquid caffeine with boosters. Wait, that's a syringe. So does that mean that it's... Yeah, putting caffeine directly into the bloodstream. Good news, I'm alive. Starting to feel a little better too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food, or something that passes as food anyway. Boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I'm feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run on A for wave. So I'm catching up on my serial dramas. Mask Marketeer, What Could I Do Without You? Go crazy, most likely. Crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming to the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know, that doesn't sound too bad. I can see myself leading a cadre of marauders. Band of bandits. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Band of bandits? What should she call herself? The Formidable 14, the 100 Hooligans, featuring Zoe, Queen Bandit Queen. What do you think? Ooh, today's the day. Today is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I'm listening to Grace talk about the Marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me, living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. She's going to get herself killed. Okay, she's not dead.
Here we go. Whoever came out this far. Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
I really don't care.
What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I need to clarify something for me.
Great at clarifying.
For me? No.
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them. No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit. I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma. I've got all the time in Halcyon. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks,
but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of the Mass Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Nope, nothing in cash register.
Oh my.
There's something special in here. I don't know, maybe you'd be wrong to do that to them.
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway? You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you. I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. I wish I knew. I wagered the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say. I'll pay you for every pad you bring me. If, by some miracle, you can bring me the full set, I'll give you something pretty I've been saving for a lucky day. Would you? I'd be grateful.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed-out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm alright. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Where are we headed? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. He never told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about feeling different. And nothing had to get weird. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one that ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. It just comes off cold to me, is all. Yeah, huh? That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
I want to get into that one.
always wanted to poke around in here. Inside voices. Get ready.
Okay, so avoid killing with that thing if you want to loot anything. Okay, time to get to it.
The control room should be off. To the right. hope we're doing the right thing.
Unexpected noise.
Here we go!
Let's
Here
go.
we go. Attacking! Here I go!
Oh, nice.
Everyone all right?
Poor guy starved to death.
Oh,
I'll fix you right up! Can't get past that armor!
maintenance required for
Everyone all right?
Self-diagnostics complete. Navigation systems operational. Combat
Jeremy!
systems operational. It's not the best choice. It's the spacer's choice. All systems fully operational. Return journey successfully completed. Spacer's Choice would like to thank you for complying with your duties. Hostile actions towards Spacer's Choice mechanics are contrary to logical directive. Conclusion: all hostile automechanicals must be defective in compliance with Spacer's Choice policy. All defective automechanicals must be permanently dismantled. Please allow me to assist. Affirmative. Mechanicide protocols loaded. Awaiting confirmation.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Beginning.
Here they come! Working! I see in there!
Processing. Investigating.
Here they come!
Huh? Why are there more bodies?
Not real. You're not real.
Isn't that Doom?
No.
Wait, that game? Isn't that the game that thing did?
Not real. You're not real.
Where are you, Higgins?
Not real. You're not real.
Alright, Higgins, what is... What is your malfunction here?
You're not real. You're not real. No, no, no. Just leave me alone. Not real. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram.
You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
To be honest, Hulu is
The
a
tail.
money-grabbing.
Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
And just to remove the ads, you'd have to pay to remove their ads.
Jimmy'd open the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months.
Exactly.
Eventually, I
They're
had to resort to
money
more unconventional means of filling my insides.
Alternative rights.
Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Mechanicide protocols currently active. Please do not interrupt.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Yeah, what should I do? Oh, which should I do? There we go. The conundrum.
can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people. Yeah, huh?
Unexpected. Investigate.
Nice one! That's the last of them.
Hey! Okay, so here's what happened.
Incoming!
Oh, jeez.
That's gotta hurt. I'm keen. Is everyone all right?
Okay. What I did was I brought that girl back to. I brought that girl back to camp that was going on when you were just leaving. I got her back into her camp, and I went over to that geothermal plant over there, and we came across a decision to take away all power from Edgewater over here and give it to the camp, or to take away from the camp and give it to Edgewater. I decided to give it to the camp since I don't like the company that runs Edgewater. And I've told you the reasons behind it. Well, I was just wandering for most of the time anyway. Well, loosen it a little bit.
Adelaide was right to leave.
Desertion is a criminal offense, punishable by hard labor. Oh, it's you. Reed told me I should be expecting you. He's inside. Well, the time to start looking for work. Lucky for you, I am authorized to hire freelance. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just one per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
Okay.
You picked a fine time to visit, stranger. Foreman Granger, mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
Something you need?
Here we go!
Oh, when I obtained this gun, it can melt people. Well, I don't really care about Spacer's Choice. Not a very good company. It is, this one. It fires... Hold on, maybe I can... Oh, and a shotgun. This is it. Fires 3 shots, which means that it actually has, out of a 12 magazine, it has 4 times as free of squeezing the trigger. When it kills something, it melts them. What I remembered you showing me was a Celtic dress. Yeah, that one. I've put this employee needs improvement. Colonist on a budget. Yeah, I don't need a budget. I mean, not here. See, a company that is built entirely not on quality but on making it the cheapest it possibly can be. Bullets that just fall apart and just fall apart when you're loading them does not seem like the safest option. They call them puffballs. That's going to be important. My dialogue choices. You know what it reminds me of? You ever watch the Lorax? The Lorax.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, flying to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no, but can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back,
The Lorax about the guy that, about the guy with the. I sent you a GIF. See if that jogs your memory.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister.
Yeah. Reminds me of the truffle trees behind him.
Now. I got a captain.
Properties and...
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Why do I have to?
Oh, wow.
Ooh, nice.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
Well. Your cabin's with me. Okay, so.
What can I do for you, Captain?
Me.
Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Well, boys. Welcome to Across the Stars.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Well, I wouldn't say anything else.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Yeah?
Ah, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Right, the black marketeer.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Oh. Dinner time. Yeah, leave it as it is. After dinner, I'll come right back.